All right, this is Shooting the Breeze with your man Byron A. Lloyd. I'm him, he is I. We're back with Amanda Kennedy. I'm on this new condenser mic. It should sound pretty rad. How are you, Amanda? Amanda?
I'm doing good.
Sweet, you're getting a good mic level too, so we're gravy here. Awesome, we're gravy, man. We're getting a good mic level. Man, duct tape fixes anything, man. For those who don't know, I got this condenser mic. You got to be right up on it, so I had to duct tape your cell phone to it. It don't look all that great, but it's working like a champ so far. So last time, man, you were on the podcast, the last podcast, and we were talking about how they shafted all the Bernie believers, right, at the convention, and they took your buddy's credentials and kicked him out, and if they wouldn't condone signs, they would take them away from you, and they kept y'all separated so y'all couldn't make loud noises. You know, a bunch of BS, you know what I mean? But you being on the state rules committee, you have and you on the rules committee there at the convention, right? Amanda?
Yes, I am. I'm on the state committee for Arkansas, but I haven't actually started that yet. Like Saturday is the first state committee meeting, so I'll be delving into that in the future. But I was on the rules committee from Arkansas at the DNC.
Yeah, how does that work?
I was appointed, actually. The standing committee is appointed by, I think maybe the PLEO, and the PLEO and all the delegates are elected at the state convention, and then they appoint standing committee members. For Arkansas, it's different for every state, but Arkansas had one standing committee member for each committee. So there was the rules, the platform, and the credentials. And we got to pick rules. There was two Clinton people for the platform and credentials, and one Bernie person on rules. So one person from Arkansas came the rules committee, and that was me, and I was for Bernie.
You were the only one. Were you the only one from Arkansas?
So.
You worked?
Yes, on the rules committee.
Oh, that's pretty rad, right?
Yes, I was.
For being the first time there to be on the rules committee, that's pretty cool. That is, that's super cool, man.
It was amazing.
Right? Except when they started making rules and you wanted to pull your hair out.
Right. When you can make amendments to rules. And that's kind of what our goal was when we came for the National Democratic Party, the whole party itself, for the next 4 years. So really, the rules and the platform and stuff doesn't really, in my mind, didn't have anything to Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton. It's because it's about the rules.
Right.
When I went in, I didn't have any Bernie gear on. I didn't have my Bernie shirt on or anything. I had an Arkansas Hogs shirt.
Right, represent.
And represent.
Right.
But all the Hillary Clinton people had Hillary stickers. They all had matching Hillary stickers. And so I didn't know that we were supposed to be representing our campaign and taking orders just from them.
Right.
So when we first got there, we talked to Jeff Weaver and a couple other people, and they said, okay, here's the amendments that we have. And we had a list, and many of them had to do with the superdelegates. One was complete elimination of the superdelegates, and another one was, and they said, they're probably not going to vote for that. Not even all the Bernie people wanted to vote for complete elimination of superdelegates.
Man, superdelegates shafted Bernie, mama.
This other amendment that, complete elimination of the, I guess basically not all burners want that because there are some good things to them, which is a little bit more complicated. It has to do with in different states and how they district things, and so because of superdelegates, I think they were able to put more diverse leaders in, and they don't have to compete against the people of their state to become delegates. It's in addition to, our election. And also there's these arguments that was like, okay, maybe we don't need to completely eliminate the superdelegates, but we do need to do this. So we had another amendment that said, let's just reduce the number of superdelegates. So for instance, we have a big problem with the fact that the former presidents of the United States are all superdelegates. The former chairs of the DNC, they're all superdelegates, former ones.
Right, it's all fact-based deals.
And the DNC people are appointed, they're not elected, and so there are lots of superdelegates that are not actually elected, they're appointed, and they're also former elected or former appointed people, and they shouldn't have the power of 7,500 people.
Right.
And they can decide, that's the other thing, is they can decide however they feel they want. They're not bound to their constituents.
Right, which is crazy.
So we wanted to try and change that. We had an amendment that said, how about if we just say that they can't declare who they're voting for before the before they vote,
right.
So that they're not influencing people, and they're not, so that MSNBC can't report all these votes that haven't even been cast yet to make everybody think that somebody else is better than the other one,
Right, like you did this year.
That we were trying to get passed, but So, but what's funny is I'm sitting there and it's the Robert's Rules of Order, and you go up and Barney Frank is up there.
I love Barney Frank.
Being cranky. He's kind of funny.
Right.
But also he can be cranky and scary, and I didn't want to get up to the mic and say anything. I just wanted to listen to anybody who was in support of eliminating the superdelegates, and anybody who was opposed to it, and then I would make a decision and I would vote.
Right.
Well, the Clinton people just kept completely voting as a block against anything that we proposed in our amendments for superdelegates. It was always no. And on the Bernie side, people would it would depend.
Right.
If it was the complete elimination, for instance, it didn't have all that much support, but other things had more support. And so it was like the Bernie people were thinking for themselves, and the Clinton people were voting as a bloc. So finally, they said, we're going to take a recess. And the two campaigns got together behind closed doors, not in the Rules Committee, not with, the chair and everybody.
Right. The shady stuff.
The room.
Right.
And the shady stuff, and they came up with this unity commission,
that sounds like
and then it's basically, so they come back after 2 hours of drafting this thing. They come back and say, okay, people, come in this other room. Jeff Weaver has to talk to you. And we all went to this other room. I tell you, I'm not even kidding you. While we were in this other room, the Clinton people got treated to full bar and beer, mixed drinks, food.
Well, y'all got the super chat. Real quick, I want to tell everybody. Right, y'all are doing the
It's ridiculous. We didn't know. I'm in the room, and Jeff Weaver's telling us how this Unity Commission is really great because it has teeth, and for sure they have to, we have this Unity Commission, which is not an amendment to the rules. And that's where we had to give on this compromise, was it's not an amendment to the rules of the Democratic Party, which is another way of saying that we don't actually have to do it. But he said the Unity Commission is really great, and it'll reduce the number of superdelegates by 2/3, and Bernie's going to be able to pick the chairman of the committee, and it's going to be this great person, and then 7 people on the committee are going to be Bernie supporters, Bernie crats, and they're going to come up where they're going to do like major superdelegate reform, basically.
Right.
And also in there they threw in some language about open primaries too, which was something else that we were trying to get passed with our amendments,
Right.
voting as a block, basically.
Right.
Few Bernie people had a problem with that, and they didn't want to do it, and they said they're not going to vote for it. There was a few protest votes saying, they weren't, but for the most part, everybody voted, for the Union Commission. And as we're walking out, Jeff Weaver is even saying, like, it's going to pass, and y'all can vote no on it, basically.
But it still will pass.
Just like everything else.
Right. They've done made the decision for you. Right, they made the decision for you, basically, right?
Yeah.
What a crap.
Basically, so we might as well just go with it, right?
Right, go along and get along.
And I'm like, you're going to have to vote for this one now. I'm telling my neighbors, I'm trying to be nice with everybody, of course.
Right.
I'm always respectful, so.
Right.
You have to vote, but yes, now, and she's like, well, I don't know. And she's a little tipsy at this point, and so.
She must be a good follower.
She goes, well, are we going to have to vote yes? And I'm like, you're going to have to vote yes, And then she gets a text that says vote yes. And so I said, are you getting a text to tell you how to vote? And she's like, well, why do you think I had been looking at my phone this whole time, all this other stuff? I'm such a clueless person. So I didn't realize.
Well, that's not being clueless. You just didn't know how shady and corrupt it was.
She's not listening to the supporting argument. Right, she's just looking at her text, and that's how she's voting. They're telling her how to vote, which...
That's some bullshit.
On the Bernie side, they're going to put a card up at the front telling us, how Bernie would like us to vote, but they by no means told us we had to vote that way. So this is where democracy dies for me, really.
It started down for me already. Go ahead. Man, heartbreaking.
So Bernie Frank's getting cranky, and he's like, okay, we're passing this committee, yay, everybody did, and then he starts trying to say, no, we don't need to go over this other stuff because you won, and get out of here. And you should really watch the live stream. Actually, there's lots of dead time, but there's a few interesting parts.
Where's the live stream at?
So, one of the last things is the live stream is on YouTube.
Okay, I can check it out.
Just put in rules committee meeting. Rules committee meeting. Yeah.
Okay, real quick, I just want to tell my listeners that. I just want to tell my listeners real quick, in case you didn't know, Jeb Weaver is the campaign manager for Bernie Sanders. Go ahead, we're still listening. I'm enthralled by this. I can't believe this is how it is. This is shite. Man, it's shite. Go ahead. I'm just heartbroken, man. I thought that democracy was really a democracy, but the basically isn't.
I know, and I was, well, right, there's no democracy.
It is dead, man. Oh, man.
The people going into the platform, the people going into these rule committees, at least the majority of them anyway, the establishment people, are going in knowing that it's all a big show too. Even that part was a show, and it's all decided, and we're going to pretend like we're going to vote on all these amendments that the Bernie people propose, so that we can go behind this door over here and pull out from behind our, from out of our butt.
Right. Unless you're a Trump follower, then you get hammered.
So, okay, so then, let's see, But oh, are you still there?
I am. I'm at Todd here.
Hello?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, good. Yes, I can hear you.
Look at me, come on.
So, what?
Oh, I heard him. I was told I have a horrible echo. But I don't have echo on, man. I got an echo feature on my mic, but I got it turned on. I thought I did, but go ahead. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Okay, bitch. Go ahead. I'm still listening. Screw them. They'll just have to hear an echo. Okay. You got to work with me. That's the new technology, man.
Hopefully I don't have an echo.
Right. Right. Oh, no, go ahead, man.
I forgot to tell you, at the beginning of the Rules Committee, we go in there, and first they say, oh, look at this wonderful diversity, and this is the most diverse Rules Committee we've ever seen, and look around and how diverse it is. And you look around, and it's still mainly white. I mean, really, really white. Like,
right.
Really?
Super white.
This is the best we can do. This is historic. So maybe right. I mean, there was, not Eddie, but still.
Okay, my echo was turned on. I'm sorry, my echo was turned on. Go ahead, I'm sorry. I fixed it. Let's go. I'm listening.
Oh, gotcha.
It's new stuff, man. New toys.
So, I know, right?
Right.
And so at the very beginning of the meeting, before they even start anything, they're talking about how they don't want to be there all night, and if we go and we use all of our time to do, basically if we use our full right and go according to, the time limits and really want to have stuff out, like it's going to take forever, and they don't want to be there forever, and I'm like, dude, we spent a lot of money and planned a lot of time to all be here in this one space for this one thing, to get this one thing accomplished, and you don't think we should use up all of our time because we might be here all day and you didn't order dinner? I mean, I don't know, I was just like, really, what you're going to preface this with?
Right, they're like, we want to go party, right?
I feel warm and fuzzy about the democratic process, man. You're rushing me through the rules of the Democratic Party? Jesus. So anyway, so at the end, though, when democracy dies for me, before we leave the room with Jeff Weaver, a couple friends who were trying to get a minority report put on the floor. So that means on the floor of the convention with the delegates, everybody that arrives, they would get to fight for the complete elimination of superdelegates. And so they said, if you put this unity commission, if we pass this, do we even need to do a minority report? Well, Jeff Weaver said, definitely. I mean, nothing should stop you from doing. That's your decision, and that's what I love about the Bernie Sanders campaign is they didn't really tell us what to think or what to do. Not like the Hillary people who were getting texts and told exactly how to vote and everything. But before we left that room, they said, come back after the Rules Committee is over. Come back to this room, and we'll talk about presenting the minority report on the floor, because we needed 47 signatures and we got 57 signatures. So we had enough signatures on the minority report to put it through, so that we could have a floor fight basically with delegates. So we got to the Rules Committee, and the gavel drops and everybody has to be in their seat again, and I noticed all my neighbors are double fisting alcoholic drinks. She's got a Heineken and a Cosmopolitan, and I'm thirsting to death. I'm like literally like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have tried to find a drinking fountain before I came in this room.
Right, they overpowered that martinis.
Drink my Heineken. She was really nice. But she's like, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna drink it because I'm thirsting to death. Thank you. And I drank some Heineken. But anyway. One of the last things that we did, a few of the things that we did pass, a Bernie person came up and said, we want to add Q to the end of LGBTQ.
Are you fucking kidding me? Excuse my F-bomb.
That passed unanimously. Like, they got it. What?
Oh, well, I'm just saying, that's all we passed is putting a Q on the end of it, on LGBTQ. Really? Oh, man, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be real business being done, and the most you get is a Q.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, we got a Q.
Heartbreaking.
Hours and hours for Q.
Right.
So.
Yay, Q.
We got something else. It was some stupid.
Tell me it's better than Q.
I know what it was, and it's a good thing. But it was like, really? That's what we were.
Gotta be better than Q.
I think the Democratic Party. It's not.
Oh,
the Democratic
Jesus.
Party has to get supplies from Union Made or get Union Made supplies.
Oh, that's better than Q.
Something like that.
I like that better than Q.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, that's better.
I'm a union guy. I like that better than Q. I have a bunch of gay friends, but really, Q. You know what I mean, really? That's partisan language at that point, am I right? Really? Do we need a Q? Really?
Right.
What's next, Z? Go ahead.
So here's where democracy dies for me.
Oh, it's already been dead for me. You done killed it for me.
I didn't realize how bound to the text. I didn't realize how bound to the text they were. So when one of the Bernie supporters got up and said she wanted to propose an amendment to simply strike under from our charter, to be more inclusive because of the large percentage of atheists and
agnostics.
blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, just the large
No Jesus
amount
freaks.
of non-religious people,
Right, non-Jesus freaks
in our country.
Right.
If we just strike from under God, from underneath, it'll make.
Oh gosh, the Republicans will have a field day.
Just as inclusive as that, you.
Right.
Oh, I know. Well, here's the thing: is the lady next to me. She is an atheist.
But the chick double fisting.
She was also a Hillary Clinton supporter.
But she was double fisting though, right?
She actually said she wanted to. She said it should pass. She goes, oh yeah, that should pass. Strike under God. That seems more inclusive. Blah blah blah. Then she got a text that said, vote no.
Golly.
It goes, oh, and she looked disappointed. She looked disappointed, and she goes, oh man, it says vote no, and I got bug-eyed, and I said, vote yes anyway. What do you mean?
Right.
Like, you're an
atheist.
You think that it should be stricken from the charter.
Right.
This is what you're here for. Vote no. And she says, no, my name is up there, because they had our names up on this big screen, and then when we had this clicker system, and the clicker would show if you voted yes or no, and she's like, no, my name is up there, and I was like, well, abstain at least, don't vote at all, don't vote no.
Right.
And she's like, no, they told us to vote no, and my name is up there, and she voted no, and I was just like,
democracy is officially dead.
And I kind of was having a moment there, and she's like laughing at me and saying like,
that's because she's
how
drunk.
old are you? Is this like your first time?
Yeah.
And are you did you really think it was? And I was like, so it's not really a democracy. We don't actually come here and listen to this and use our brains. We
and
just
vote for your
here,
principles.
We have fun, and we check our phones and wait for the campaign to tell us what to think and how to run the country. And she's just
like ain't nothing to it, right?
And that's so cute. And,
yeah, screw democracy. Who needs that?
I was sitting there going,
we came to get hammered.
God, this is killing me. I was dying. Really.
Right.
Yeah,
We come to get shit hammered.
Really
Screw principles. We come to get shit hammered. Screw principles. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Golly, it's horrible.
So that's not the end of the story.
Oh, I'm still listening.
Still not the end of the story.
I've been crying for the last 20 minutes, but I'm still listening.
So that's before I realized, okay, so we're not really here to do what we're supposed to do, and this is all a oh, God. Anyway, so then at the very end she says, if you're going to present a minority report, you have 2 hours from the time of the closing of this meeting to turn that minority in. So we leave the room, and everybody goes and eats and has fun and all that other stuff, and us Bernie boss, dedicated, crazy Bernie people, stay in this room for another half an hour, and we listen to everybody's feelings. Every single Bernie supporter who put their name on that list for the minority report had something to say about why they thought we should now not, sign it and put it through. And then other people who said we need to give the delegates the chance to fight, and to fight this fight that we just lost. They need to be able to do that too for their own reasons, and we can warn them that we're going to lose because we don't have the numbers, but at least we give them a chance to fight. And everybody said, no, that's the point. We had this unity commission, and we're going to lose, and I don't want to go on the convention floor and just get embarrassed and lose.
Right.
And so I think we should put it blah, 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 blah. So by the end of the damn meeting, they said, look, if you want to take your name off of the minority report.
I'm not trying to interrupt, Amanda.
We'll let you
Could
do
you
that.
explain what a minority report is? I said, could you explain what the minority report is?
It's like a petition, so that it's like a petition. From what I understand, and I'm not the expert on this, but from what I understood, it's a petition that would allow the delegates themselves to put forth a fight if they were shut out in the rules committee.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Kind of like what just happened. And so if we get 47 signatures,
it passes.
Then we can bring it forth on the convention
floor. Okay, I got you.
So the actual delegates,
speak up individually
during the rules committee. So the rules committee is on Saturday. It happens on Saturday, 2 days before the convention even starts, for the rules. And we talk about rules for the convention itself, and we also talked about rules for the DNC. So the minority report would allow the actual delegates at the DNC to fight to eliminate super delegates. Even though we went over it in rules, this would give them a chance to fight it from the floor. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
We had to have 47 signatures.
Yes, that makes sense.
So we had 57 signatures before the end of the meeting. And so we went into this room, and then we told people, if you want to take your name off now because of this unity commission, that's what they're saying. I signed that minority report before the unity commission came out. Now that the unity commission's been passed by the rules, I say that's good enough. I'm going to call that a win, and I want to take my name off the minority report. What happened is 12 of our burners took their name off
the
minority report, so we didn't have enough signatures.
Right, killed it.
So that killed it.
Right.
That killed it. There was not. So there would be no fight for the delegates at the convention. It all stopped right there at the rules committee because of our own.
Golly, it's incredible. Your own people.
And even at the Democratic convention, we were turned on by our own people, the Democrats.
Right, no unity. No unity in the Bernie camp. Right.
Right. So the Bernie people are a little. That's the thing about Bernie people is we're still free thinkers. We still think on our own. We don't just follow other burners.
Right. Or wait for text.
We don't even all follow Bernie.
Right.
If we don't think it's right. He says vote for Hillary Clinton. A lot of people are like, no, it's not right.
Right, I just got a message.
So
I just got a message from a listener.
I understand why you're telling me to do that, but...
Right. I just got a message from a listener said we should be mad as Bernie supporters because Bernie sold us out. Look here, y'all got Trump. Until y'all can get a respectable, I'm not speaking to you, man. I'm speaking to the listener messaging me. You're not going to say her name. But y'all got Trump. Until y'all can get somebody who's not a psychopath, message me then. You know what I mean? I'm voting for, it don't matter who we vote for because we're from Arkansas. You would agree, wouldn't you, Amanda? Right? It don't matter who we vote for. We can vote for Gary Johnson. It don't matter. We're from Arkansas.
Yeah.
But as long as Trump don't win, it's a win for us. Hillary might be corrupt, but she's not crazy. So that counts, right? Like Donald Trump's not corrupt anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm steady getting messages. You know what I mean? Hey, we still love Bernie. I can't believe Bernie didn't even spring for bottled water, though. Golly. You know what I mean? He can at least pass that bottled water. Come on, Bernie. Right? Right? That average $27 donation could have bought some water. Yeah. They could have got a ice chest full of water. Jesus Christ. Hillary, everybody on Hillary's side's drinking top shelf drinks, double fisted. I'm getting drinks and being throat punched now.
Like, where did you get the drinks?
Right.
Where have you been?
This old lady's got crumbs on her chin.
My beer, I had my drink. Where have you been? And I'm like, in this stuffy old room with Jeff Weaver telling me I have to vote for this damn Unity Commission.
Right. This old lady's got crumbs on her chin, double fisted martini.
He actually wasn't telling me to vote. That's the other thing. Jeff Weaver did not tell me how to vote. He said that he thought it was a good thing and it was probably going to pass. But he doesn't tell you how to vote.
Well,
Bernie, I don't know. I love him. He didn't sell us out. He did what he had to do.
Right.
And we're all going to do what we had to do.
That's
and
right.
What we had to do is it doesn't matter how we vote for president. Like you said, we live in Arkansas, so we're going to Trump. And we need to get Connor Eldridge.
Right. Connor Eldridge. I'm a big fan. Big fan of Connor Eldridge. We definitely need to get him elected. It's going to be hard, though.
Diane Curry's also against the TPP since last year.
Right.
I know. We got to do it, though.
Well, Connor Eldridge got so much money against him. Right. John Bozeman, man, he's got so much money. That's the only bad thing.
Does he have a lot of money?
Yeah, he's got the Koch brothers behind him.
Yeah.
It's hard
Connor?
No, Connor don't. John Bozeman does.
Oh, you're talking about John Boozman.
Yeah, that jackass.
Gotcha. Oh, good. I was about to be like, what?
No. Him and Tom Cotton are back by...
Did you say the Koch brothers are behind?
No, Connor Eldridge is a legit dude. He's not just an idiot. No, Tom Cotton and John Bozeman are back row.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Yeah, he's actually trying to do something for the people. No, the puppets, Tom Cotton and John Bozeman, are backed by the Koch brothers. Tom Cotton, 90% of his campaign was paid for by the Koch brothers.
Gotcha.
Right. No, Connor Eldridge is he's a young guy trying to do something for the people.
In 2018, right?
Right.
Right.
But like I said, man, it just kills it for me, though, man. To find out you go all that way, and you're new, and you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you think you're making a difference, and then they just crush you with totalitarian type, you know what I mean, type crap. You're like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Lady Liberty died that day, I'm sure.
It was quite traumatizing. Then after our own Bernie people crossed to the other side of the room to take their name off, and we counted there was more than 10. It was like, oh, it's dead. And then I was just like, I need to go get drunk. And we went down to a bar with a bunch of Bernie Rules committee members that we had been talking to for weeks and weeks, drafting these amendments, which is good. Now I know how to draft an amendment. And
right.
Maybe we can make some changes in Arkansas.
Or you can run for office someday.
Yeah, so I got to hang out with them. What?
So now you can run for office someday. You wouldn't want to...
Yeah, maybe I can.
Yeah, you can pull it off, man.
I'd be like the reluctant one because I'm... yeah.
I'd do all the dirt work for you.
And it costs money. It costs a lot of
money.
Go to all these events. And that's another thing. I'm on the state committee right now, and I want to change things so that all these political events are free.
Right.
You shouldn't have to spend $50 and $100 to go see somebody influential speak.
Right. Well, just like you were talking about, it takes $10,000 to run for the Senate or Congress, but people don't realize that most of these Congress
$10,000 to run.
Right, that most of these congressmen spend 4 hours a day, every day, the whole time they're in office raising money. That's how much money you have to raise to run for re-election, which is crazy.
Yep, that's exactly right.
But
yep.
no.
And it also costs money to be a member of your county party. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I'm talking about it's definitely it's crept up on us, but it's more prevalent now and it's more obvious now that our democracy has been bought and sold and paid for. Am I right? There must be a delay.
Yeah, it's been something. It's been hijacked.
Definitely hijacked.
There is a delay. But
yeah, definitely hijacked.
I've already noticed.
Yeah, I noticed about a 3-second delay. Well, I'm trying out Facebook Messenger for the first time to see how that works. But I think I'm going to start using cell phones again. They work a whole lot better. No delay.
Yeah.
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 That half-second count.
So that's my story on the right. That's my story on the Rules Committee.
That's heartbreaking.
I'm gonna have to let you go.
I know. Well, it was good talking to you. I know you got to go.
Something else.
Right. I know you got to go be mom, and that's what you do best. But I appreciate you talking to me, Amanda, and hopefully you'll come back with some more something that is not so depressing. You know what I mean? That was a depressing tale of what really goes down. Golly, man.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Right.
Hey, I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to the state convention, and then I'll go to my first state committee meeting, so I can let y'all know how that runs.
Right, if it don't make you suicidal.
Stuff as I go, and it'll probably be depressing though. If
right.
you want something happy, you'll have to call me about like one of my Buffalo River trips or something.
Right, yeah, I love Buffalo. We all love Buffalo River here in Arkansas. But yeah, I'm sure you'll be damn near suicidal when you get back from both those meetings. But anyway, it was good talking to you, Amanda. Hopefully you'll be back on soon, man. You can tell us some more depressing stories from the Democratic Party. Delay. But anyway.
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go, man. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
All right, bye. All right, man. That Facebook phone sucks donkey dong. But it's just me now. I know how to echo. Thanks for telling me. Look here. I got a listener who's just blowing me up on Mister, and her name rhymes with Shmisa Reeves. Anyway, why did you tell me I didn't have an echo? Why'd you wait 14 minutes into it before you reminded me I had an echo on? See, I turned the echo off. I sound like I'm Dave Letterman. Anyway, man, that's depressing. Jesus Christ, man. What do we got to do? We got to tear the government down. Jesus Christ. It don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, man. But shit, what do? You can't put Donald Trump in office. I don't care if he is a private citizen. That dude's a psychopath. I wouldn't vote that dude for dog catcher. I'd be scared he'd privatize dogs and sell them to the glue factory, man, to make a buck. You know what I mean? Donald Trump's a piece of trash. Ah, okay. You tuned in late. Well, thanks for nobody else telling me the first 13 minutes that I had echo on, but that's okay. But anyway, now I'll get off politics because now I have plenty of time, man. I'm 38 minutes in with 140 minutes left. Will I do the 140? Probably not, but I'm going to do at least another hour. So, man, wow, it's depressing. That is truly, truly depressing. I'm going to beat on Trump all day. You stop messaging me, Lisa Reeves. Trump's a piece of trash. That dude's worthless. That dude wants to molest his own daughter. Man, I could go on about that dude. That dude's 70 years old with a 40-year-old wife who's been buck naked doing lesbian photos. And he wants to come at me about morals. Man, don't make me get on my Trump soapbox. For real. Trump is a chump. Get him out of here. He's done. Trump's done. If Trump wins November 8th, I'll kiss my own ass. I don't care if I snap my spine doing it. I will kiss my own bare white ass. And anybody else that want to bet me, I'll kiss your bare white ass. Trump wins on November 8th. That's all that matters. Trump's done. You know why he's done? Because he don't know when to shut up. Because he's a racist, he's a misogynist, he's a xenophobe, and instead of keeping those thoughts in his head, he's like your drunk, crazy uncle at Thanksgiving who spews that dumb shit at the Thanksgiving table instead of shutting the hell up. So that's all on Trump. That's not on me. You know what I mean? I'm not the one saying the dumb crap Trump's saying. Trump's saying it. Don't blame me for Trump being an idiot. And you can. Just don't blame me for Trump being an idiot. But look, see, I don't have to stay on politics the whole time because I know that gets old and tiring. So I'm going to try to loosen it up here, man. First of all, let me duct tape this phone here. So if you hear this tape busted, I got a phone duct taped to my condenser mic. But you know, you got to do what you got to do in the moment. It's a last minute deal. When I put this together, I was a little under the weather. My back was killing me. So what they call jerry-rigged something up. It worked, except they had echo on. I forgot to take off echo. So it didn't work that great for the first 13 minutes, but it's working good now. The mic sounds good. I know it does. I've tested. Mic sounds great. It sounds better than using a phone mic or a laptop mic. You know what I mean? If you're going to do this, spring a few bucks or have somebody load you up to spring a few bucks and get a condenser mic. It makes all the difference in the world. Man, I got like 4 foot of cable, so I can walk around. Like I'm right next to my front door right now, and I'm gonna go out here and freestyle and smoke a cigarette, man, because I'm hurting. But we're gonna talk about sport. We're gonna talk about movies because Chris Hickey, my good buddy Chris Hickey, who owes me a podcast. Oh man, I'm gonna take some medicine. I'm hurting. Who owes me a podcast and who should be on my podcast next time out? I expect to have Mr. Hickey on the show next time out. No. Anyway, Mr. Hickey should be on my show next time out. So I'm gonna do what they call. I'm trying to do new segments. So I got all this time now, man. So we all these pills. I got all this time now. So I gotta think of different segments to fill up all this time, right? As we call it. Let's not call it broadcast school. I gotta get me a format. See, in 45 minutes, you didn't have to have format because you had one one topic. 45 minutes, that's all you get is one topic. So I had one topic, so I'd have to format it. The original Walking Tall, look, that was a decent movie, but it don't even crack my top 20. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to do sports movies because sports is about to start up. I'm excited. It's almost football season. I'm a diehard Eagles fan. We got a new coach. You know what I mean? We got the number 2 overall pick, Carson Wentz. He's looking good. The defense looks like a beast. Fletcher Cox just looks like a monster, like I knew he would be, straight out of Mississippi State. But, so I'm going to name my top 5 sports movies off the top of my head. I wasn't going to write it down, but I've been thinking about it. And I think I can name them all off the top of my head as I step outside and dodge mosquitoes and try to smoke. Because this condenser mic's got like 6 foot of cord on it, which is pretty sweet. Anyway, so you might hear crickets. I'm now outside. Here we go. Number 5. What would my number 5 sports movie be? To me, man, I think it would be Remember the Titans. I know, you just like an underdog movie. You know what I'm saying? Decent movie. It's got Denzel in it. I love Denzel. I'm a diehard Denzel fan. He's my guy. I've been accused of being gay for Denzel, which is not true. But if I was gay, I'd probably bang Denzel. Or I definitely wouldn't get banged by Denzel. I'd take cash money. But that's a whole other topic. Anyway, my number 4 movie. Look here, this is not really a sports movie. Well, I mean, I got to rank it higher than number 4. I'd have to say Rudy. Rudy was be my number 4. Man, this is where it gets tough to top 3 because I love Caddyshack. And Caddyshack is technically a comedy, but it's a sports movie, but it's Caddyshack. Bill Murray, my all-time favorite. Rodney Dangerfield kills it. They kill it. So at number 3, I'm going to say Caddyshack. At number 2, this is where it gets real tough because I'm not a baseball fan at all, really, but I love Field of Dreams. Man, I did grow up without a daddy. The end of that, where he just wants to play catch with his daddy, makes me cry every time I see it. Where he's like, "Want to have a catch?" You know, and his dad's out there in the cornfield and they have a catch, and the movie goes out. I cry like a bitch every time I see it. But I'm gonna make Field of Dreams my number 2. My number 1, of course, has got to be Invincible. with Mark Wahlberg about Vincent Papali, the greatest Eagle legend ever, because dude walked up the street after manning the bar during the strike season and made the Eagles team, and then after they got off strike, he still continued to make the Eagles team for like 2 or 3 years as a kickoff returner and what they call a gunner on kickoff on the kickoff side of the ball. So that would be my top 5 sports movies all time. If y'all got a different list, you can message it to me on Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean? You can message me now, you can message me later, and I'll take a look, and man, we'll try to compile some lists and see if y'all agree with me. I'm sure you won't. I don't care if you do, because this is my show last time I looked, so I get the final word. These mosquitoes, though, are ruthless out here, by the way. But, yeah, walking tall, I don't think it cuts it, even though he did carry a 2x4. It was kind of like a baseball bat. And it was a true story, so Buford T. Pusser, you got to give him some props. It was definitely better than the Rock remake. But don't get me wrong, I do like the Rock. I didn't like the Rock until he made the sequel to Get Shorty, when he played the gay bodyguard, and then I started liking the Rock. I'm gonna step back aside. These mosquitoes are brutal, man. I'm talking about they're not joking. But so since we're on sports. Oh, yeah, Raging Bull. I forgot about Raging Bull. Rocky don't make it. Raging Bull would make it, though. God, dog, I forgot about Raging Bull. Shit. I do love Raging Bull. And Martin Scorsese, don't get me wrong. What was that, man? Something just buzzed me. I wonder if the mic picked it up. Jesus Christ, what kind of bug was that, man? Anyway, hey, that was just top 5 off the top of my head. Raging Bull still wouldn't beat Invincible because it's about the Eagles. Not unless Jake LaMotta was an Eagles fan, which I don't think he was. But it's Martin Scorsese. You know, Martin Scorsese makes good stuff. But now we're going to get 6 in sports. I'm going to go off on this Olympic deal. Man, this is nuts. This shows you how racist this country really is. When they flip out over Gabby Douglas not putting her hand over her heart enough or smiling enough, you know what I mean? And look here, this is what gets me. If a black athlete don't smile and shuffle and act like he's grateful to the powers that be, they get labeled angry. They're angry black people. It's an angry black man. Gabby Douglas is angry because she didn't put her hand over her heart enough, or she didn't smile enough while she was out there wiping the floor with them chicks and dropping gold medals like it wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you've got the biggest douchebag in America, Ryan Lochte, who gets drunk and acts like a total jackass. And they wipe it off like boys will be boys, even though dude's 32 years old. And so I'm going to go Andy Rooney with it. Look, I wrote a couple pages on it. But I hadn't reread it. So I had corrected it. So there might be some errors in this. But, damn, I wrote about 2.5 pages on it. Man, I got on a roll here. Well, let me clip my mic back again. And I'll go through it. And if y'all know who Andy Rooney is, he's a dude who used to give editorials on 60 Minutes. He was always, you ever notice how Ryan Lochte's a douchebag? You ever notice? But let me get through it here. Now, look here. The deal with Gabby Douglas is it sexist or racist or both? I believe it's a little bit of both. Ryan Lochte is the people who don't believe in white privilege. All you got to do is look to Ryan Lochte. He is the epitome of white privilege and douchebaggery, the epitome of it. And when you think about him, man, what he done, and this is what he done. He got drunk. He goes to a gas station. He kicks in the bathroom door after pissing on a wall, tears up a sign, tears up some more shit, tries to pay the people and leave. And then he makes up a story where he says he got robbed by fake police and they put a gun to his forehead. And here's what puts the cherry on top of the douchebag Sunday is that during the story he could have just said, hey, we got robbed, dude pulled a gun, we all got on the ground, he took our money, yada, yada, yada. But no, he throws his swimming buddies under the bus and says, those dudes fell down on the ground like cowards, basically, and I stood there refusing their orders under the threat of my life with a gun to my forehead. So he tries to make himself look like Action Jackson in this make-believe fantasy story he made up. So this is what I got about him. I said, what he did was something some frat bro tourist would do, and some second-tier '80s movie about some douchebag jocks from some fictional university where the women there are genetic anomalies because they all seem to have double D's, or bore bras, or tops of any kind for a good part of the time. They also seem to not mind those waspy, date rapist jocks sexually harassing them and making goofy attempts at getting some nookie. You know the type, the certain clique of privileged frat brother, rich kid jock, / bully assholes, which are usually vilified in Hollywood movies. And when I think of those type of dudes, when I think of those type of dudes, I think of Cobra Kai from The Karate Kid. Those are the waspy jock frat, the frat bro assholes I think of when I think of those type of dudes. You know what I mean? Cobra Kai. Sweep the leg, Johnny, sweep the leg. You know those dudes, right? So that are vilified in Hollywood movies. Cobra Kai punks always come to mind when I think of these type of ass clowns. But fortunately in Hollywood, we have the underdog. Oh. So these epic tours are usually bested by nerds, the new kid in town, or some lovable loser who turns it around and becomes the cool kid in school. But unfortunately, in real life, the douchebags win way more than they lose. But Ryan Lochte is the epitome of this stereotypical, vapid, middle-class jackass. If this isn't apparent, let's put it in perspective. Michael Phelps wins his 28th gold medal. I said 4,000 is making a joke. Well, he wins his 28th medal, making him the greatest Olympian of all time. But here we are talking about a bro's bro, like Ryan Lochte, who has been second best to Phelps his whole swimming career. The only friggin' one time that he shows up Phelps, it's with him to being a douchebag of international proportions. This guy gets shit hammered, tears off a door at the gas station, pees on the wall, punches a metal sign, then comes up with the insane story about getting robbed by the bogus fuzz. But he doesn't stop there because he's a macho bro. He has to make himself the tough guy who, when a pistol pressed against his hollow pumpkin-headed ass, stands tall while his like-minded, scared teammates Olympic cower like scared school kids. Refusing the robber's demands, this could be another one of those cases where the cover-up is actually worse than the crime. Which the story not only shame the already crime-ridden country Brazil and embarrasses our country even more. It's crap like this that makes the whole world hate us. It's not that the king and antichrist Muslim Obama. It's waspy, right, jock assholes like Ryan Lochte and arrogant douchebags like Ryan Lochte that makes the world hate us. It's our arrogance as a country and this myth of exceptionalism that still gets pushed by the right. That's what makes the world hate us. It's because we're arrogant. You know what I mean? Even in our own country, we act like we own it. You know what I mean? How can you not hate? You know what I mean? We are the Cobra Kai of the world. You know what I mean? So how could they not hate us? Like I said, but then when white America loses its shit because Gabby didn't smile and wave for y'all, what do y'all want her to do? Maybe a minstrel shuffle out, do a little soft shoe or tap dance while smiling like the Joker? There's something black athletes seem to always have to deal with, that if they're not smiling like some acid-soaked hippie while simultaneously clasping their hand over their heart and they cry like Big Mama died during the national anthem, well, then they're considered angry, or they're labeled an angry athlete. And, that's one of the oldest racial fallacies, sports fallacies there is to befall athletes of color. That if they don't smile enough, thank white folks enough, aren't humble enough, then they're angry black men or women, or they're thuggish, or they're nappy-headed hoes. But when the real thug is an overprivileged, luck-headed white oaf like Ryan Lochte, it's just boys being boys, even though the boy in question is 32 years old. So next time somebody on your social media denies the existence of white privilege, or you yourself doubt its existence, just remember this human gonad, Ryan Lochte. If you ever wonder why the world hates us, once again, Lochte's your man. I'm surprised Trump don't kick Mike Pence off and add Ryan Lochte as his running mate, because they're both cut from the same cloth. Super douchebags. So if you're more bent out of shape over Gabby than Lochte, well, like Jeff Foxworthy says, you might be a racist. I mean redneck. Anyway, there's my editorial. That was 3 pages. See, I put in some work. There's 3 pages I wrote down in about, I don't know, man. I got in the groove. It took me about, 10 minutes. But it's the truth, man. And it's white privilege. We're worried about Gabby Gifford. Oh, but they do. Hey, look. So I'm going to talk to Lisa Reeves. Lisa Reeves keeps messaging me because she can't get on the phone because our buddy Todd Gray, her man Todd Gray, has to get up and go to the airport at 4:30 in the morning. But, so she's messaging me. But yes, Lisa, you're living in a bubble. That's been said about every athlete since 1968 when the dudes do up the power fist. If a black athlete don't smile enough, is not thankful enough, they're labeled angry or thugs. They've done it with Richard Sherman. They call Richard Sherman a thug. Richard Sherman's got a bachelor's degree from Stanford. Stanford's one of the top 5 colleges in the United States. I don't know many black thugs that come out of Stanford, but they call him a thug. But you know why? Because they labeled him he's angry. And it's the truth. So, see, it's the truth. But on to the next one. So Lisa can't call me. She said she's going to. We were going to do JFK conspiracies because here's another segment I'm throwing. See, I'm throwing everything against the wall and what sticks. That's going to be a new segment. I'm going to try to have rotating segments every month, do a new show every Tuesday. So this new segment's called Conspiracy Corner. I got some sound effects for it. Where's that? Ready? Oh, it's the wrong one. Jesus Christ. Man. No, I was not hitting a bong. That was sound effects. But anyway, I was being silly. I do have a sound effect for it, but I'm not going to play some cheesy sound effect. We're going to get into the Clinton conspiracies. Because, nowadays everything's conspiracy. Now it's the whole Clinton Foundation is nothing but a pay-for-play if you listen to Donald Trump operation. Screw the fact that they're ranked in one of the top 5% of all charities in the world. And they do some amazing work where they guarantee that supplies actually get to the people who need them instead of getting hijacked by these third world country or these authoritarian dictators. And, screw that. And screw just because they knew you, like the Prince of Bahrain and other dudes who would have got to meet to the State Department anyway, that because they donated money to the Clinton Foundation, they somehow got special treatment. But I hate to break it to you, the Prince of Bahrain gets a meeting at the State Department no matter what, because he's the Prince of Bahrain, no matter if he donated money or not. But it's that, and this Vince Foster, and this Bill Clinton killing 98 people, this whole list of people that supposedly ended up dead because of Bill Clinton, and now, and we're going to get into it, man. I got a whole list for you. I just have to do a little something to wet my palate here. But, now I'm ready. Here we go. Clinton conspiracies. So, like I said, here's the top 5 Clinton conspiracies, man. Hold up on that. Before you call me. Let me get through my 5 conspiracies first, because I've actually done some research here, and I know you're fired up to crap on the Clintons, Lisa Reeves. But first, let me lay these BS conspiracies out first. The first one's hilarious. Bill Clinton is not Chelsea's father. That one is awesome. Trust me. There's one thing you can count on Bill Clinton to do, and that is have sex. So I'm sure he had sex with Hillary. You know what I mean? He might not have wanted to, but he's Bill Clinton. He can't help himself. Okay. So, and I got this from, look, I'm going to go ahead and tell you where I got these top 5 from. It's News One. And if you don't know who News One is, you're probably white. News One's the black news site. Legit black news site. You know what I mean? They're legit. They're not like World Star. White House Counsel, Vince Foster. Here we go. Don't forget about Webb Hubble. Let me get started. Right, here it is. Bill Clinton is not Chelsea's father. And here's what the conspiracy is. Yeah, I just seen Webb Hubble. Yeah, he says he looks like Jabba the Hutt. He's heinous looking, bald-headed. Yes, I know who Webb Hubble looks like. And I'm talking to Lisa Reeves, who's steady messaging me. Hillary's connection to Hubble goes all the way back to her days in Little Rock's Rose Law Firm in the late 70s. It's worth noting that Chelsea Clinton was born in 1980. right? And this is from the New Yorker. Eventually, Hillary became good friends with two other lawyers at the Rose firm, Vince Foster and Webster Hubbell. And I've talked about Webb Hubbell before, about how he got indicted for money laundering and some other shady stuff, and he went to the pen. Not for long, but he went to the pen. I've talked about it on our previous podcast. So eventually, like I said, she became good friends with two other lawyers at the Rose Laws firm, Vincent Foster and Webster Hubbell. Professionally, these three lawyers were a tightly meshed team. Yeah, him and his like a tightly meshed team. Diane Blair, who has known Hillary since the mid-'70s, is now probably her closest friend, told me. They were so great together, like basketball players, where they can pass and don't even have to look. That's called a no-look pass. But for my old white lady, it's called a pass where they don't even have to look. That's funny. You gotta love those fucking corny white folks. Excuse the F-bomb, I almost dropped one. You gotta love those corny white folks. Not a no-look pass, it's a pass where they don't even look. It's called a no-look pass, old white lady. And it has been called it since about 1980 when Magic Johnson hit the NBA, but we'll keep going. Gotta love stiff. Obviously, she's never watched a basketball game, even though she made that analogy, right? White House counsel. Oh, here we go. Before I get down to Vince Foster, which they'll beat that to death. The article does go on to say that the bond was supposed to be strongest between Hillary and the late Vince Foster, but maybe that's just what Hillary wanted the New Yorker to think. What's more, when Bill Clinton ascended to the presidency in 1983, he appointed Webb to U.S. Associate Attorney General. Hubbell later resigned in 1994 before pleading guilty to federal mail fraud and tax evasion. That's what I was talking about. That was about that little bank he started with the Rose Law Firm, which the bank loaned Bill Clinton money, the Bill Clinton campaign money, yada, yada, yada. Bill Clinton took the money like any politician would, but unfortunately the money was shady. He didn't know it. Webb Hubbell did. Webb goes to jail. Right? Now, we'll go on to Vince Foster. Here's the deal about Vince Foster. Vince Foster was Hillary's best friend. She allegedly had an affair with him, which, who knows? You know, Bill was out having affairs himself, so maybe that happened. Who knows? But, you know, Vince Foster was Attorney General at the time. They found him dead, and allegedly he was found in a park in Washington, D.C. And I'm saying this off the top of my head. He was left-handed, but the gun, like me, he was left-handed, but the gun he allegedly killed himself with was in his right hand. The blood ran up his face like he'd been killed facing downward, like laying down, and like his head laying at the bottom of a hill. But when they found him, he was on flat ground, right? Well, eventually they went back to retrieve some papers of his, and they say Hillary Clinton staffers shredded these papers before the FBI, whatever, could get there, or the Justice Department. But then they found the papers they allegedly thought were shredded years later. So, once again, not a lot to it. I'm not impressed. Like I said, all these conspiracies over the years, if any of them were true, there's so many of them, they would have been indicted at least once by now. You know what I mean? Don't fool yourself into thinking that you could commit 100 different federal crimes and not get indicted at least one time. I don't care if you are Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton. You would get indicted. You know what I mean? For everything they've been accused of, if they were guilty of a tenth of it, they would be indicted. I don't care what people say. It's the truth. You know what I mean? Okay. So, Ron Brown. Anybody know who Ron Brown was? Ron Brown was head of the DNC. And he was in a plane that exploded, that crashed and exploded. And a week before he was in that plane, Hillary and Chelsea flew in that plane. The next week he flies in it and it explodes. And I'll read here what it says. Former Democratic National Committee Chairman and U.S. Commerce Secretary reportedly died in a plane crash in Croatia, but new evidence reveals he might have been shot in the head, according to Snopes, which cites a lengthy list of deaths associated with Bill Clinton that began circulating the internet August 1998. That's that list I'm talking about, the FOB, Friends of Bill list of all these people that allegedly got killed connected to Bill Clinton. In 1995, Brown had apparently failed to properly report large payments from a business partner, sparking a federal investigation. At the time of his death, he was being investigated by a special investigator and was about to be indicted with 54 others. He spoke publicly of his willingness to make a deal with the prosecution to save himself a few days before the fatal trip. The report says he was not supposed to be on flight, but it was asked to he go at last minute. Well, look, Lisa, we'll have to talk about that when you come out here and do Conspiracy Corner. Because I can't read, man. You're throwing it out too big of messages. Basically, carbon fibers were found on Vince Foster's body that were associated with the carpet in his office. I have not seen that, so I can't, you know what I mean? I can't confirm or deny that. So we'll just leave it out there. But to think that these people could commit all these crimes and get away with them is ludicrous, man. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, let's see. Man, I let some bugs in there. They're trying to jam on me. Oh, yeah, James McDougal. All right. Dies of a heart attack. He's another one of these Clinton associates who died. James McDougal, him and his wife Susan, were on that Whitewater stuff. And they died. Like, they had financial partners with Clinton in the real estate deal, Whitewater, that led to the Whitewater scandal in the 1990s. James McDougal, who convicted, died of an apparent heart attack while in solitary confinement. He was a very key witness in the probe, writes Snopes. Well, let me tell you something. If you saw how old and broke down James McDougal and fat he was, you wouldn't be shocked that he died of a heart attack, I promise you. You know what I mean? So, the next one is, I didn't know this one, never heard of this one, don't even know who this dude is. Victor Razor, spelled the S-I, let me spell that last name, R-A-I-S-E-R. The second dies in plane crash. I've never heard of Victor Razor. It's a new one for me, folks. As you can tell, I didn't pre-read these because, man, I was trying to get my equipment together. And I was hurting, so I went to the last minute. Look, I ain't got to make excuses. You're not my mama, people listening, right? Wrapping up the list, Razor, the former national finance and co-chairman of the Clinton for president, and his son, Montgomery, both died in a suspicious private plane crash in Alaska in 1992. No cause for the crash was determined, and Razor was considered to be a major player on the Clinton team, writes Snopes. So, what does this tell us? Nothing. It tells us nothing, man. You know what I mean? Bill Clinton and them ain't killing folks. Come on, man. Y'all watch too much TV. Really? Look, y'all watch too much TV, people. I hate to break it to you. If Bill Clinton killed 98 people, he got indicted for at least one of them. Nobody's that slick. Not even no TV supervillain is slick enough to get away with 90-plus murders. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Did Bill Clinton possibly smuggle cocaine in this country after he run guns for Ronald Reagan? Sure, he might have. But mites on chicken, four to a feather. What does that mean? Is there any indictable evidence? Is there anything other than suspicion or rumor? Is there any solid actual evidence, no matter how circumstantial? No, zero. Let me repeat that. Let me get close to the mic. Zero. Zero evidence, man. Y'all are just wishing derailed the Hillary train, whatever y'all can, whatever y'all can find. And the Hillary train is ride to the White House because y'all elected a buffoon. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at yourselves for not getting out and voting and electing John Kasich instead of a buffoon. Oh, it was Reagan and Bush. It was both of them. The Iran-Contra scandal was Reagan, but it was Bush running it, him and Ollie North. I know, Lisa. Don't forget it. Me and Lisa both agree the Bush family are complete evil. And that's an actual fact. But, like I said, I was planning on doing another hour or so. I'm not going to. I'm going to cut it off at 70 minutes. Huh? I don't take up for her. Look, I'm sitting there arguing with somebody sending me messages. I get Lisa sending me, why am I taking up for her? I'm not taking up for her. I'm just saying nobody can commit that many crimes and not get indicted. I ain't seen nothing to indict her. I ain't seen nothing to make her a criminal. If Hillary done a tenth of what the right-wing alt press, or kooks, as I call them, the kooky right-wing alternate media, which means non-legit news sites like Breitbart and their ilk, what they said, if she was guilty of a tenth of what they've accused her of, she would be indicted, and Bill Clinton would be too. You know what I mean? Y'all had a chance to vote. Y'all had 17 candidates. Y'all voted for a buffoon, a misogynist, sexist, racist, xenophobic, jackass, ass clown with that looks like he's been dipped in Cheeto sauce, wearing a weasel skin for a hairpiece, who don't know when to shut the hell up. Some of them get mad at me. Y'all had 17 people to vote on. Y'all could have voted on any of those guys, but instead y'all fell for the dude that had a reality TV show. Right? The dude who had a TV show. By the way, I'm getting Lisa talking about mainstream media. There's only 6 companies that own every media outlet in the United States. 6 companies, and 5 of those companies are owned by conservative or Republican owners and CEOs. So you can get that mainstream liberal media crap out of here, because that's a bogus myth. There's only 6 media companies that own everything. 5 of those CEOs or owners of those companies are Republicans, and that is the truth. He is a politician. She's like keeps saying he's not a politician. Oh, Donald Trump's a politician. He's been a politician for going on a year now. When you run for office and you do what politicians do, you're a politician. You know what I mean? If I jump in the water and kick my legs and move my arms like I'm swimming, I'm a swimmer. So yes, he's a politician. Oh, he's a politician, and he's a poor one. Just like he's a poor businessman. That's why his companies are like got $685 million worth of debt over them right now. That's why he's filed bankruptcy 4 times. That's why he's bankrupted a casino 3 times. Who can bankrupt a casino? Name anybody else who's ever bankrupted a casino. Name any other time a casino's ever went bankrupt. Exactly. You know how piss poor of a businessman you have to be to bankrupt a casino, not once, not twice, but 3 times? You gotta be a piss poor businessman. And if you look, Donald Trump don't make money. His kids make money by licensing his name. Donald Trump is not worth $10 billion. Donald Trump ain't even worth barely $1 billion in reality. All right, obviously I pissed Lisa enough off where she won't mess with me no more. But Donald Trump's a jabroni. Who will lose in November? Go to sleep knowing that Donald Trump's going to lose by a landslide in November, Lisa. And you have a good night. But you should have come on here and done JFK, man. I could have pissed you off live. Well, instead you want to send in messages and get mad. Donald Trump's a buffoon. I could help it if y'all nominated a orangutan, a baboon, buffoon, idiot, jackass, ass clown, ass hat to run for president. Y'all could have elected somebody sensible like John Kasich, or anybody else who's more sensible than him. Even Ben Carson, who seemed like he was about to OD on psycho meds, is more sensible, and that's saying a lot because he said some crazy crap, is more sensible than Donald Trump. Donald Trump's a bombastic buffoon who runs his mouth too much, who's run his mouth so much that he's pretty much killed any chance of ever becoming president, thank God. And as Americans, we should be thankful for that. People are like, Hillary's going to be 4 more years of Obama. Well, I hope so. Except, guess what? Trump's wrote it that the Democrats are going to get control of the Senate back, possibly the House back. And if we control all of Congress with the Democratic president, it won't be like Obama. It will be better because we'll actually get some progressive ideas passed instead of being blocked by obstructionists in Congress on the right side like we have been for the past 8 years. So when people say it's going to be 4 more years of Obama, I like Obama. I voted for him twice. I thought he did a fine job, even though he got blocked. He got blocked anytime he tried to do anything good, man. Right? So, when people come up with that, it's going to be 4 more years of Obama, I say I hope so. I like Obama. Look here, I'm like an hour and a half into it. I've done my editorial. I've named my 5 movies. I've done my interview. I was going to do JFK, but that crapped out instead. I got to do Clinton conspiracies while I'm getting bulldogged by a message from Lisa Reeves, which I can't say nothing because she purchased this fancy microphone. Her and my friend tried grave for me that I'm talking on, so I guess I got to take her crap. But I'm going to get off here. Next week, I'll hopefully have my new theme song finished. I got a buddy, he's a songwriter in Nashville. He's working on a theme song for me. I should have Hickey on here. And if I got to call him up and cuss him, he should be on here. I got guests coming up. Let me say what I got coming up. I got Bart Shanklin coming up, a Jill Stein supporter, who's going to try to sell y'all on the anti-vax presidential candidate Jill Stein, who's like Gary Johnson. She says some stuff, or Ron Paul. She'll say some stuff that makes a lot of sense. Then she'll say something that's totally nuts. Let's see who gets some guy coming up. I got sometime in September. I got to schedule a date with my man, actor and bluesman extraordinaire Jake LaBots. I got Stephen Lewandowski, who said he'd come on the show. He owns Blue Cake Company in Little Rock. He's a professional cake maker. He's a top shelf baker. He's going to come over here. Maybe he'll give us some cake cooking tips. I'm trying to mix it up for y'all, man. I got an Arkansas Razorback player I can't name who said he'd come on, but he sent me a message today and said I had to contact the PR department at the University of Arkansas before he could come on the show. So I'm sure that's probably going to go tits up and not happen. So who else am I missing? Man, I got folks coming on. Trust me, I forget the list. But I got more guests than I can count. That's why I'm having problems thinking of all of them. But I'll keep it interesting. Maybe funny, maybe not. But maybe you'll learn something. Hopefully you will. If not, you're probably brain dead because I'm not here dropping knowledge. And if you can't pick up what I'm dropping, something's wrong with you, not me, my friend. So this is Shooting the Breeze with your man by Ray Lloyd. I'm Audi 5000G on this new mic.